have good food there.
Very good food.
Rolly?
Talking about the enslavements in life, no one better to help us find our own moment of liberation, our own sphere of liberation than Harinam Singh Khalsa. You're watching Yoga Express 561. If it says 560, that's because we forgot to change the episode number. But that's not the problem. The problem for me right now is that I have to keep up, and actually I want to keep up with Harinam's small, deceptively simple exercises. Harinam Singh Khalsa, spiritual counselor and teacher. Harinam has been offering us a series of episodes at my request. He came all the way from Mexico. He is from New York. He's back here and he's addicted to New York, as am I. So we make a good team here right on the mat. And talking about team, I might as well acknowledge my team right now before we move on. Vita Fraga, our director. We have Lucas Veloso on camera and Malik Parker, our facilitator. Thank you all for a wonderful job in the whole series that Harinam is taking us through. Harinam talked about some of the enslavements. We talked about greed. What was the first one?
Anger.
Anger, greed, and
Pride.
pride. And now today I'm going to let you tell us a little bit.
And
about
again,
what-
just because, for those who may not have seen other shows, again, just taking a minute to just give it a context,
Right.
that we're starting from a place where we're taking the platform of all the great masters in the history of the world, that the purpose of this life ultimately is to liberate, that we have kind of built-in human weaknesses that are limiting us from doing that. Otherwise, we would already be liberated. We're not liberated because, to some extent or other, we're enslaved. And what are we enslaved by? We're enslaved by these human vulnerabilities. And then in this path, and then I think in others as well that I've read, that we talk about the five basic human vulnerabilities that enslave us, not only from ultimately liberating, but just even having a satisfying and fulfilling life, because these things get us in trouble as well, and really complicated interpersonal relationships. Things like anger, greed, and pride, and then and the other two are lust, which we'll talk about, and which is always a fun one to talk about for most people, and then attachment, which is actually kind of like the big one, and we'll deal with that some other time.
Right.
But it implicates almost everything. And there's almost nothing that people aren't attached to. And as we were just saying, attachment is the tendency to identify who you are with things outside yourself that you become attached to, which is a million things. and you're attached to a million things at the same time, and there's only one thing that you seem to lack attachment to, and that is to your own self and to God. So that's that's the problem.
Right.
And so that's for another time. And it's a little harder to identify attachment because you're attached to so many things all at the same time that generally you're not at the level of consciousness to actually even identify your attachment, because that's all you are, is attached. These other things like anger, greed, pride, and now lust are actually things you can, if you're paying attention, you can identify, isolate them, and deal with them.
In a sense, they are more tangible.
They
I know
are
what
much
you
more
mean.
tangible.
Yeah.
I think the attachment's tangible too. It's just so overwhelming and
Vast.
all-encompassing, it's hard to actually identify it because you're just totally attached. But you're not in lust all the time. You're not angry. See, this is the difference.
Right.
You're not angry all the time. You're
You're
not proud all the time. Those kind of come and go. But the attachment is like 24 hours a day.
Got it.
Okay,
got
so
it.
that's how it's tough. But these other things pop up, and you can see how you're enslaved to them and how they trip you up. So this fourth one, lust, that actually has to do with, I think the best way to describe it is, it's kind of like this, what's the word that, I actually had a word here that I used I often don't go to my notes, but mindless was the word, mindless.
Right.
It's kind of this mindless animal instinct to fulfill sexual desire. That's what lust would be. And people put the emphasis on sexual desire, but I kind of put the emphasis on
On the
mindless.
mindlessness, yeah.
That it's mindless, and you're not in control. And there is this urge to satisfy sexual desire, but there's no like consciousness behind it. It's all automatic pilot. It's mindless, and that's what we in this platform we're talking about human enslavement. What's the human enslavement? The human enslavement is this mindless instinct to fulfill a particular desire.
Right.
Okay, and different than others' desire. That's this particular desire, this kind of mindlessness that kind of blinds us and gets us into all kinds of problems.
We talk about lust for life. So are you talking about the intensity?
I'm talking.
Or the physical
I am
lust?
talking about, in particular, what I said, the mindless, this instinct to fulfill sexual desire,
Right, so it's more
specifically.
physical, right.
That's lust. Not just just physical. I mean, because physical is a lot of things. I'm talking about actual sexual desire.
Right.
Okay. And so this plays itself out in a lot of interesting ways because there's a lot going on behind the scenes here. Because first of all, people are not even kind of aware of why they even have sexual desire. Okay? Because people don't ever think about these things, about why something would be. So again, we were talking about in other sessions that from a spiritual point of view, you were sent here and you didn't give birth to yourself. This is not a little thing. You didn't create yourself. You were created. So if you were created, there's like a reason for everything. Okay?
Right.
It's not a haphazard thing. There's a reason for
I
it.
see
So
what
if
you're
you
saying.
have sexual desire, whatever created you had something in mind to kind of put that inside of you. You didn't put it inside of you. It was planted inside of you, and for what reason? So there's many reasons. Now one is that, and we're not getting into the whole philosophy thing of it, but in especially in the East, we talk a lot about karma and reincarnation. So if you're being reincarnated, you would actually need to take a body on. To actually work
physical
all of your
form.
karma out. No sex, no bodies. So the creator's not so stupid. So if you have to play through the game of karma and reincarnation, we actually need bodies to play this out of. No sex, no bodies. Okay.
No bodies,
so
no sex.
no bodies, no sex. Right.
Right.
So, but the thing is like there's some consciousness in this to put this in you, because without this desire, there is not going to be any bodies for people to reincarnate through to work out their karma. So that's one thing right there. Okay. The other thing is that in the end of the day, everybody's seeking liberation. Everybody is seeking freedom. People are at different levels of their evolution in this, but we're all humans. So on one hand, we all have these with vulnerabilities, but we also all have this trajectory that we're all, whether we're conscious of it or not, we're all having this trajectory towards absolute freedom, which we would call liberation. Okay, so the actual desire, not only is it implanted in us to have sexual desire to create babies, and so well, so karma can be played out, but also it kind of plays towards people's desire to merge into something bigger than themselves. So a lot of the people enjoy, they're enjoying sex, but it's like my teacher always said, and I totally get it, sex is everything and sex is nothing. Okay, it's everything and nothing. Everything is sex and nothing. Basically, he's saying everything is sex and nothing is sex, and I totally get this. And the way that everything is sex is that there's just this human movement towards merger, which ultimately results in liberation. So, for many human beings, sex is about sexual union is maybe the closest thing they're going to experience in this lifetime that gives them at least some feeling of union and merger. So they think they enjoy sex, but actually people are not. It's a whole nother talk about sex, but I would say that very few people actually enjoy sex. Okay, they think they do, but they actually don't. And that's another conversation for another day because of how messed up the world is right now. But let's just say that on some level, it's their little taste of getting some sort of merger and union that they can't get in any other aspect of their life. So they keep going to that because at least for a couple of moments, they're going to feel like an ecstasy and a merger and a union that no other aspect of life gives them. So they're thinking this is the most important thing in their life, but they don't have a plan B. And so, like we've been talking with the other enslavements, what's the benefit? What's the disadvantage? The benefit I just gave is that it actually gives people the big benefit to this whole lust thing is that first of all, it gives people a taste of it, and they may want something more. The other thing is that it gives them at least the opportunity, should they choose to take it, is that even if they're like a young man, adolescent, and they're getting some kind of union and merger with this other body, at least, even if that's their motivation, even if pleasure is their motivation, there is the possibility that they will actually experience real love with that person. And they think, if they're unsophisticated, that their sexual desire and love are the same thing, but they're not. It's just one aspect of it. But there's always the possibility that this physical union and attraction and attachment will grow into something that's broader and deeper, and it will give them a doorway to something that's even more lasting and even more spiritual. Okay, so that's a very positive thing. And then the other positive thing is, we're talking about the virtues, is that regardless of what the initial reason they were with this person, whether it was for pleasure or feeling this union, it may lead them to value and to master the virtue of commitment, because that's where it's all going. To basically sustain this relationship is going to involve mutual commitment, which has nothing to do with lust itself, but the motivation of lust could actually lead them towards developing commitment, which, as I say, in this book I just wrote, which is to me the highest virtue of all is commitment, and so that this path that I'm on is a commitment path. So anything that would lead you to commitment, including lust, is perfectly fine if it leads you towards commitment. And so there's the opportunity to experience true love and commitment, okay? And so that would be the positive. Now, the negative side towards the liberation-oriented person is that it is unbelievably distracting. And it's one of the reasons why a spiritual person or a person normally is either going to be a monk or a married person. Because if you're just looking around for possible sexual partners, you're going to be too distracted to actually
Single-mindedness.
find the straight and narrow. So usually it means either being a monk or being married, and there's actually not that much difference in a way, because the reasons are the same, that you'd be a monk or you'd be married, and that is that you're basically, that area of your life is kind of spoken for, and you've decided, and now it's not a distraction, okay? And it is a romantic love and sexual desire is a tremendous distraction, especially the younger people, and it's going to be very hard for you to keep doing the things you need to do to be liberated when you're that distracted. Of all the enslavements, this is by far the most distracting, immediately distracting. And so it's not whether sex is good or sex is bad. It has nothing to do with that. It's a healthy thing. It's a healthy thing in a committed relationship and in a marriage. There's a lot of positives to it. But it can enslave you if it's distracting. And it is, without doubt, the singularly most distracting of all the human enslavements. And it could destroy your life. It could make you do very stupid things that could wreck the life of, I do a lot of counseling, as I was saying. Infidelity, without a doubt, is the most destructive and self-destructive thing anybody can get involved with, because it is a marriage wrecker, and that means it's a family wrecker, and that means it's a life wrecker, and it's going to be very hard for you to really live your life's purpose if you have all this drama going on.
It's like a shower head, a millimeter, you move the shower head 1 millimeter, so you're distracted by one particular episode and your whole life
That's it.
goes
That's
somewhere
that's all
else.
it takes. And
Right.
people who lack wisdom don't understand that all it takes is that 1 millimeter. And people, and I've read this, and it's very true. You can spend 40 years building your reputation, and you could lose it in 5
Like you
minutes.
said, exactly. Yeah.
And so people don't realize how true that is. And I've seen lives destroyed on this thing, and they show it in the movies a certain way, but actually very dangerous behavior. So it's okay, but
we need to send a copy of this book to many different places, and you know where I would like to send it.
So anyhow, but it's something to be recognized. And again, because on the one hand, it's very distracting. On the other hand, it's the kind of thing that you could easily identify. Like, if I'm sitting there and I'm looking at a pretty girl walking down the street, okay, that's not anger, that's not greed, that's lust. And and when I was younger, I learned, because the natural tendency, because it's a human weakness, so the natural tendency is look at the pretty girl, but the trained mind looks at the pretty girl and laughs,
gets back on track.
laughs and gets back on track,
Right.
doesn't get attached to that.
Right.
Okay, the untrained mind is like, okay, now you're in zombie land.
Right.
Okay, so it's natural to be distracted, okay, but it's also very common to actually go with it, and then your behavior is going to get you way off track. So it's something to pay attention to, because as a human, as I said, it's not like you're a bad person. It's been planted in you, this tendency. The thing is for you to be conscious. And if you're super conscious, you can basically enjoy that part of your existence in a conscious way with a person that you really care about and are committed to, and that's called a spiritual marriage. Okay,
Wow.
so that's conscious too. So all these things, it's just a matter of being conscious and using them in the way that they were given to you for, which is productive, not self-destructive. Okay? So here, and we have yoga sets for that too. So I'll just put you through these again. Normally we do these for like 3 minutes each or more, but I'll just give you 1 minute each. I think we have enough time for that. We
We've
do?
got 4 minutes.
Oh, we have 4 minutes. Oh, wow.
How
Okay,
many
because
do
we
we have?
started late. Okay, we started.
We'll take the full 4 minutes. Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. I'll tell you what. We'll do this then. I'll give you a meditation instead for 3 minutes.
No, let's go with that. We can
Because
always
it started
edit.
at, I saw what time we started at, so it would have ended
Vita,
at
let's
4:06.
keep rolling the camera till we're done. Let's get started.
Okay.
We'll do that.
All right, so here, so first one is.
Keep rolling. We'll put the credits up later. I'll
Okay,
edit.
just like this, follow me. So we go into a cobra pose, you've done that, right?
Yes.
That's inhale, and exhale, come up straight. Okay, inhale, back, cobra, exhale up. Okay, we'll just keep on, we'll do that for a minute.
Maybe we'll do half a minute.
Okay, half a minute. Okay, I
So-
think we're already at the half a minute. Okay,
Yeah.
now the next one is,
So
get
viewers
into this, it's
get
called
the full-
cat-cow.
Okay.
So head up. Okay, that's inhale. Exhale, come down to the floor. Inhale, back up.
Ooh, that's tough.
Exhale down, almost like modified push-ups, yeah?
Right.
Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up into cobra. Okay, and come all the way up, okay? Okay, the third one is, again, we'll try to do these for half a minute, okay?
Sure.
Okay, so grab your ankles, bring them in towards your buttocks.
Okay.
And I'm going to inhale up and bring my navel point towards the ceiling, like this, and then exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, and exhale, just like that. Inhale up, right, bring your navel point towards the ceiling, and then down, okay?
Yep.
Okay, two more. Up, very good, perfect. Such the yogi. Okay, and down. Okay, now legs out straight, hands underneath the butt, and we're going to do like a bicycling motion. One knee to the chest, other out, just like so. Very good. We'll do that for 30 seconds.
So normally we would do this for a couple
3
of
minutes each.
3 minutes each. Got it.
Okay. You can take notes on this and do this for 3 minutes, okay? A few more seconds. Okay, inhale.
Am I there yet?
You're there. You're doing great. Okay, now come sitting up. Okay, now grab. Now this is a funny one. Grab put your feet together.
yeah.
Grab them, and then come back and do like a rock and roll with this, just like rock and
Cobbler.
roll.
I love this one.
I do too. But instead of
Fun.
arms around the knees, come rocking, rolling. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Coming up is hard, but we'll keep going. Do I see
Okay,
my director
just
there?
lay out for 10 seconds. This is the super speed dating yoga here, okay? The next one is come into stretch pose. Remember stretch pose? Heels 6 inches off the ground, head 6 inches, point the hands just like me, and breath of fire. Ten more seconds. Inhale and exhale. Okay, now just lift the legs up and put the arms up just like this. Long, deep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Come sitting up. This is the ultimate speed yoga set. Okay.
We got them all in?
Okay, now and just sit up
Oh.
straight. And cover the left nostril. Inhale deep right. Exhale deep right. Change hands. Inhale deep left. Exhale deep left. Hands on the knees. Now inhale and imagine all the energy going up your spine. Oh, just imagine light energy up the spine. And on the exhale, imagine all this like fluid energy just kind of dripping down your whole body into every cell. Last time, inhale, energy up the spine. And exhale, just like a fountain, all the liquid energy just filling your body. Hands again, center of the chest. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. Satnam, Satnam Banu, always.
You did a great job.
yeah.
You almost gave up on that. You almost gave up. I'm so glad
No,
you
well,
stayed.
yeah, I almost gave up. You know, this is always a challenge because I talk too much and then there's not enough time for
No,
the
but
set.
that introduction was also very useful because it actually built very well. In fact, we have the luxury. I think we even have a minute left over. We almost gave
You know,
up.
there's, and also I just mentioned there, if anybody listening, if there are a lot of manuals in this stuff, and a very good source for this is a place on the internet called spiritvoyage.com,
Spiritvoyage.com.
and they have many manuals of these Kundalini yoga sets, including the ones we've done. And so, if you're interested, that's actually a very good source.
Well, they can just write to you directly. And
yeah,
you
you can write to me, and I can direct you to them.
KhalsaConsciousness.com. We're going to have the credits rolling in just a moment. Stay with us, stretch with us, and you will get amazing guests like Harinam every now and then coming on the show. When are you coming back to New York?
I don't know. You know
Well,
what? I'm here when I'm here, which is
Harinam
not
and
enough.
I stay in touch, so whenever you're coming back, let me know.
And all of you in New York should know how much you're blessed to be in New York.
That's right. Well, the credits are coming right up, so you know how to contact Harinam in just a few seconds, actually in 2 seconds, right there, guest teacher. So thank you so much. We actually made it. Let's get together, take a
Unbelievable.
group picture.
Yeah, wow.
And
You were talking about
since-
five. I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Which one?
You were talking about us maybe doing five.
5 episodes.
And
yeah.
I was thinking, you know what?
No,
it's
I
going to
think,
be a rush
but
to
you
get 4.
did give a good perspective with the attachment. We built that.
We
you
got
built
it in.
that
We got it
into
in. We
it,
could
yeah.
have mentioned it. Sure.
Shall we just stay for one photo and you can hold
Sure.
this book up?
Sure, my
Or
pleasure.
I'll hold it up actually.